everybody. So today I wanted to make a video about gears and talents. I mean, I've been wanting to make this video for a few days and I just haven't yet. Had a IGG update, that was one thing that held me back, and the rest of it was just my laziness. However, it's coming to you now. So, I want to get started by saying that obviously people should know what gears and talents are for. However, most of the videos I've been making so far have been geared towards newer players who don't understand everything about the game. So, when you're a new player, you get all of the materials and stuff and you don't know what to do with it. That's what the forge is for, where you make equipment and stuff. And you're like, yo, cool, I have all these choices, what do I make? I don't even know. Okay, there's multiple different sets. This is the first thing you want to be aware of. So, the first couple sets that you want when you're a new player is a construction set and a research set. Those are important because that's going to help you go through all of your constructions faster, your researches faster, ultimately the entire game faster if you have those gears made, if you're working on them and progressing them, so then everything doesn't take as much time to complete. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys that. I'm on my main account because I have the innate talents and gear sets set up already, so I can just quickly switch back and forth for you guys. So this first set that we're looking at, this is the construction set. So you have all the construction rings, then you have all the other stuff. I don't have the names on hand. I know most of them, but I'm not going to try and name them all. So if you look at the screen, you just got to look for those pictures. That's what you make for your construction set. And they can be made even further by using the burning embers that were recently released, making your construction speed mad crazy, I guess. Like, I don't think it's worth it, not at my level, because there's not really much construction I do unless I decide I want to make a big change around in my base, and typically doesn't happen much unless I'm trying to change my hyper farm or go from having infirms to no infirms so I can boost troops with manners. But that's not too important. You want to make sure you have this set. I would say if you get it to gold, leave it at gold. No point making it stronger or better. It's not going to help with anything really, because by the time you have them orange or legend, like whatever is past this level, it's not going to be worth it anyway. So I'm going to continue. This was construction set, and then we have the research set, which is all of these pieces. Quick note though, this piece right here, this little research headpiece, can be used for more than just research, and it should be used for more than just research if you can get it high, which is good, because if you work on getting that to a higher tier, making it purple or gold, not only is it going to help your research, but it's also going to help your attacking later on, because that's something important. Now, I'm not going to show you guys my jewels because, I mean, you can see them, but I'm not going to show you what level they are, you know, just for base safety stats and stuff. However, you can see that that's the research set. You should have all of these items. You should not, like, only have 2 of them, because that's just going to slow you down. Unless you're entirely free to play, then I understand if you have maybe a couple research items, a couple construction items, a few war items, because I see a lot of free to play players who are like that. Ultimate goal, have these full sets all on their own. So I'm going to continue here. The next set I want to show you is the hunting set. This set, in my opinion, because I'm not that big into hunting on this game, is not my favorite set. Like, I don't care too much about it. This is the level mine is at, purple and blue, and that's the level it's going to stay at. I'm not ever going to try and make that better, because I'm not even going to make my hunting research any better, because I have no need for it personally. I don't hunt often enough like I should be. You should be hunting every single day, making sure you're using all your energy, because not only does it get you gifts every time you attack something, it could be gems, it could be speed ups, it could be mats. However, it also gets your guild gifts, which you should all know about. And I just don't do it too often. Yeah, I guess you could just call me lazy, or I just never liked it. So, that's hunting. Alright, the next set I want to show you is the pack set. The pack set is important as well if you're actually interested in familiars. Those are the annoying last area portion of your base constructions, and they do help with a lot, but it's more of a late game thing, so you don't have to worry about this right away. You got to worry about this probably a few months into playing. You know, once you're actually settled and you understand the game a little more and you're actually starting these familiar researches, that's when you need these familiar pieces of gear, because they will help with everything. You can exclude this though. This is not a familiar piece. This is just a piece of war gear from back when I was under level 60. It's unimportant in this setup. I don't know if there is a familiar piece that goes there. I don't think I found one, and I think that's why I have that set there, just because I'm not using it. I have it gold. I might as well put it into a set. So yeah, you can neglect that. However, something I want to explain, and this is something that I've known to be a problem. When you are starting the game, or when you're a couple months into it, and you still don't really understand gears, you don't understand war gear specifically, don't just start making random pieces of gear, because you will screw yourself over. You will make yourself run out of mats, and by running out of mats, you're going to be hitting yourself later because of it. You're going to hate yourself, you're going to hate everyone else because everyone else didn't waste their mats and you did. So, with those materials, you have your war gear, and with your war gear, my personal suggestion, don't focus too much on your war gear until you are level 60, or until you are a level 60 castle. Well, what I mean is level 60 leader, or base level, however you want to look at it. Once you're level 60, that's when you should really be worrying about war gear, unless you're trying to be a lower level trap account. However, some of you might not even get level 60 for a long time, in which case you might want to focus on those level 55 and 50 pieces of war gear, which at the same time, a lot of those pieces are used in full-on big war gear setups. So it's not like they're not good, but you want to make sure you're staying away from making anything that's like a level 20, 30, 40 piece of gear, because it's just wasting materials that will probably be good to have later on for a better piece of gear. I know I did it. I messed up and had gear at like level 52 that was level 40 gear, and I lost out on a lot of mats because of that. And if I hadn't done that, my actual war gear now would probably be a lot better. So I'm not going to show you my war gear for this. However, I'll show you a few things and just give you some ideas of how things work. So, with war gear, the way you want to be set up is you want to have two main troop types be your focus, typically. Especially if you're trying to participate in forts. So if you're trying to hold a fort, or you're trying to hold a base in the War of Wonders or KVK, you're going to need to have a good two-type gear. So, for example, if I scroll through here, and we're not even going to look at the champion pieces, because unless you're super pay-to-play, you're not going to be buying those, because obviously a champion piece is ridiculous. It's the best gear in the game if it's maxed out. No doubt. 100%. But if you're looking at something like the Beast Helm, that's a really good piece of gear. If someone has that maxed out, that's going to help them a whole lot, because look at the infantry attack. It's 42% for the infantry attack, and then cavalry attack is 35%. So that would go towards a Calv Inf set, in which case range is neglected. So if you have that item, you're completely going to focus on cavalry and infantry anytime you attack something with that item. So because of that, you want to make your gems all cavalry attack and infantry attack focused. Ideally, when you are using jewels, let me be specific, when you're using jewels into your gears, you want to make sure that they're the same troop type. And you want to make sure you sort it out kind of like this. So attack is your number one. That's what you want to use every time. HP is number 2. That's what you want to use if you don't have a good enough attack. And then defense is last. You don't really want to use defense. Oh, and never use trap unless you're going for a weird meta that's just complete full-on trap because you want to defend really well. I don't know. I have a friend who's trying to do it. I haven't seen it being tested yet because he's kind of getting too big to the point where no one's going to attack him anyway. But I am curious if it does work. However, for the sake of this video and the sake of all my viewers, don't put anything for trap attack if you don't need to. Like, that's not going to help you at all. Most of your gear is going to be used for attacking, hopefully. That's the idea. So, like I was saying, this is an infantry cavalry attack piece of gear. And then they have the same type of stuff if you go to another page. Right here, we have the firewall plate, and it has infantry attack and cavalry attack. And then you would do the same thing with that, putting in the same types of jewels for that. Which, we can go take a look at jewels, possibly. Alright, so now we're looking at jewels. I didn't want to show my equipment, but looking at jewels, here is an idea of all of the jewels that you can be getting. The most important ones being here at the bottom. There's ranged attack, infantry attack, and cavalry attack. Ideally, those are what you want to put into your gear. So say you have a gold infantry attack, but you have all blue infantry attacks otherwise, you're going to want to break down that one gold infantry attack in order to make it 4 purple to use into your gear, because you'll get a much higher stat increase doing it that way versus just using the 1 gold. So that's that's something to remember when you get a good jewel. You don't necessarily want to use it as a gold because it won't be as valuable to you unless they're all gold or they're all purple and you're upgrading to a gold. If you have all blue and you get a gold, break it down, upgrade a bunch of those blues to purple, put them into your gear. And remember, you're probably going to need 8 of the same jewel. Ideally, 8 gold jewels for each attack. So if you're doing an inf cav, you're going to want 8 gold inf jewels and 8 gold cavalry jewels. Is that easy? Hell no. I don't have it. I don't know a lot of people that do have it. It's very difficult to get, so don't expect anything fast with this. This game is a grind every time. So that is the jewel section, just a small little introduction to it, because there's more to jewels. These other types of jewels are pretty good as well, and I can explain that at another time, but I don't want to go too far into it with this video. Alright, so next thing I told you guys I was talking to you. However, range for this, because range isn't the idea of this layout anyway. The idea is cavalry and inf. And that's pretty much it. It's that same basic idea. If you want to do an inf range or cav range, you would just put all of your points into the range instead of whatever you're dropping and you don't want to use. However, on this note, I want to explain from my point of view what I've seen the most of is I have seen a lot of sort of range cav loadouts, so it seems inf range might be the way to go at the moment. Granted, that might just be my kingdom, but it seems like cavalry and range put together are kind of the easiest two to get leveled up high and have good stats for. Granted, if you do have good stats for that, then use it. You might as well. However, if you haven't made a decision on what you want to do yet, try an infantry range. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. Regardless, if you get those stats up, you're good. A general good stat for a fort or wonder hold is when you have stats above 500%. If you can get 2 stats above 500%, you're a god. You're a beast. However, they can go so much higher than that. The super pay-to-play players, I've seen as much as 700%, and I've been told about 800%. So it can get ridiculous, but most people kind of fall off in between the 350% and the 400% range. So if you can get yourself above the 400% range, I would say you're above average for trying to become a rally leader. That's the example that I'm trying to use as a rally lead. And alright, I think that is it for the gear and talent section of this video, because I don't really know what else I can show you guys. I showed you the basics of it. Of course, I could go through explaining each piece and explaining more in depth which ones are good for what. However, I think it's kind of self-explanatory, because when you click on a piece, you can read it and you can figure it out. But hey, let me know if you guys want to see more. I can definitely explain more. I was just trying to make this a quick and easy, painless video to watch where you still get a slight understanding. You can feel free to pause the video on my sets and just look through your own gears and see if you have everything or see what you want to get. And honestly, that's all I have for you. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. I will be here. I don't know when I'll post another video, but hopefully I get one out to you guys relatively soon. Let me know if you want anything special. I'll see you next time.